without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce for your pleasure once more, it is Druid's Daax spawning once more as the Zerg player here on Metropolis. And his opponent, this time yellow? Well, I guess that sucks. I need to look at that. All the starboard right in the world again. As we go into this this game, and well, seeing the map choice here, it might be a little bit of a longer game. So Daax trying to get his 3-hatch play off on Antigua, but it didn't quite work. Although, well, it's kind of interesting to me because Duggi saw it, but he was going for a 1-Rex play, and he couldn't really put on that much pressure on it, to be honest. And Daax was just in time getting his links out and pulling enough drones to stop that that bunker from being built. But the follow-up for Duggi was just very strong. Maybe he got it a little bit lucky. I mean, there was no block on the ramp to the main, for example, with 2 queens. Daax being very thinly spread at that moment, and the spine crawlers weren't enough, and it didn't deal damage quickly enough to the Hellions, I suppose. And so many drones were roasted. And well, if OD were here, he said that was the last game. Let's hop into this game. So, well, why not, right? And what we see here from Duggi is just a regular opening, and he will be going before his 1-Rex expand. Don't want to be caught off guard. I don't know why people are insisting to come online when I'm casting. Not a problem though. But yeah. So there's the command center. And there's the second depot. Well, this is quite standard, and I wouldn't be surprised actually on this map if Duggi would go for a quick third as well. I mean, why not, basically, right? And we are going to see this drone. Is it to scout, or will... Oh, actually he's sending him over to mine already. Oh, alright. So he has just... oh, look at that. Daax being so careful and meticulous with that. I mean, exactly the optimal amount of drones here. Not one too many. And he'll send them out. And they are arriving here exactly as this hatch is finishing. Daax, you are an absolute baller hero. You know that. But alright. No, actually, not the quickest third. 2 gas and 2 barracks here. So we're not going to see one of those games here where, you know, both players see each other expand and think, well, I'll expand again, and the Zerg will expand twice more, and stuff like that, where basically as a caster you go, oh dear. But no. Something else in store here. Tech lab going down, so we see some bio-heavy play here, and oh, actually no, just 2 gas from Daax, nothing being taken in the main yet. So it's not quite a crazy play as he did on Cloud Kingdom. Of course, with the map being so big, it's basically, I mean, all the timings and pushes that you could usually do, I mean, they're just a lot weaker. It takes longer to get there. It takes, of course, equally longer to reinforce. And a Terran player like Daax, like Duggi, sorry, will not get caught off guard by that. But let me see, what is he intending to do with this cast though? He's getting kind of high. eBay. Oh, okay, so it's just going double upgrades. Oh, I guess I like that quite a bit. And getting these quite early, that means his 2-2 timing push, he will just play the bomber style Terran, being very, still a kind of turtle Terran style that I just described as being very caster unfriendly here. But well, I mean, basically it's just a very, very scary push timing with so much stuff, just basically. And, well, in the meantime, I guess nothing wrong with just poking a bit across the map, seeing what you encounter, and maybe pushing back some creep, maybe even do some damage, but I'm not suspecting that Daax will be so unprepared, although he's just taking a third. How many drones does he have? 51. And, well, actually this queen is quickly taken off, and this is, well, of course this is timing here from those marines with the combat shield, taking down the evolution chamber, and there's 16 links now in production, but look at that, I like that quite a bit here, not finishing off the evolution chamber because, well, you can always do it later, and have those pesky brute come out. But yeah, now the lings are out, but this is still quite a scary force. Both the upgrades here were cancelled, so that's already a big blow for Daax, and his third is going to go down, no doubt about it. Cancelled. Well, alright. So the problem for Duggi is how does he get these marines out now? There is, he cannot sprint back to the mineral line. He was just a bit too far out, and actually pretty good catch here from Daax, getting all those marines eaten alive. All are dead, I suppose. All the remains are here on the ground. But now Daax wants to know, can he do some counter pressure? He has his baning nest, he's researching the speed, but that's a very different build than what he intended to do. Of course, the third going up again, but I mean, he has to do counter damage now because his upgrades were so much delayed. He's not going to go for his regular play. This bunker here already at the back and the full wall with depots. Of course, you can always go around the back, but it will take a long time for Zerglings to nibble through that. And actually, here we have the entire explosions. I like explosions. Alright, but I mean, he sees all the bunkers here. He still runs in, and oh, actually, Duggi not getting the race on his depot off, and now we have a bunch of links in your main. The question is, can Daax really do damage with that? No, it looks like he will lose all those links. Yeah, and that was not the best trade, although, well, it's better than if he wouldn't have done anything, but he's just forced now to keep making links again. He's making mutas now, but, well, with only 4 gas, that'll be a lot weaker than if his plan were not thwarted here. And obviously all these Zerglings, they could have been drones, man. Only 46 drones. Daax definitely not in the spot where he wants to be, and actually again a push out, just this time with a 1-1 timing. And yeah, Duggi correctly realizing that he can be aggressive because, well, he basically held off that push and drops incoming on 2 angles here, but mutas are out, and this one is quickly caught off, headed off by the mutas, and but I'm feeling that in the third, if Duggi moves in right now, there we go, Daax won't be so lucky. Daax immediately responding with his lings and banelings. Where are those mutas? Oh, actually, alright, sacrificial marines, but Duggi realizing that he couldn't fly around with his metapack for too long anyway, because, well, the mutas are out. But again, I mean, this is only a very small pack, and Daax did manage to drone up somewhat in between. 66 drones now for him, 5 more mutas on the way, but I'm not exactly sure on his position. I don't think he can manage to counter this third, and will he be able to do any damage? Well, there's already some turrets in the base, which of course, well, they deal damage, but mostly they just scare away the mutas and give Duggi time to respond. Even some marines here, well, they get picked off. but yeah, you don't want to fly into all the rockets. All of them are rockets, and yeah, Duggi playing it basically pretty safe. 3-3 now starting. So those upgrades will definitely get out of hand. Of course, if Daax can stabilize here, if you can get, well, maybe one more round of drones. He has 82 right now, but he will need them also to build those spine crawlers later on. But the problem for him though, well, this turret goes down, the other one will as well. One Muta falling though. The problem is, can he transition out of this? He's building more and more Mutas. And, well, basically versus this very bio-focused army of Duggi here, if you can keep his tank count up and if you can stay ahead in those upgrades, then he'll be able to do a very, very scary push. And Passaging Lands now starting 48 links as well. Alright. So we definitely have, I mean, it's a pretty scary link bending army. The question just is, will that be enough? Muta pack is, well, it's all the colors of the rainbow. Although a good chunk is still full health. Upgrades are going quite alright, and of course this base is up for Daax, as you would expect, now maxed out. Actually losing some Mutas, but now he doesn't mind so much because he's flooding with more links to take complete map control. And well, alright, this is I mean, it's a pretty scary army, but with 5 siege tanks, a lot of bio here, well, it kind of just melts pretty quickly. But of course Daax can try to do some kind of crazy baneling roll in. That's always pretty scary for a Terran player. They're just baiting a stim, trying to see if he can pick off anything, taking more bases. Well, Daax is playing this out pretty good, but or pretty well, I should even say. But this is the push out that Daax is fearing. I mean, he's been trying to keep Duggi in his base for the entire time, but now this is the crunch time. 3-3 timing attack with just 2-2 links. Actually, the tanks caught a bit unsieged, but oh, Daax, look at that. Those Mutas were not... Well, basically, you're not supposed to fly Mutas over 3-3 Marines, right? So, this is now looking like a bit of a problem. The 96 links here on the way, 37 Bane links, and a full scan on all of those. But basically, there are, well, I'm hazarding to say, there are no investors out. Nope, and that's a big problem, of course. I mean, these drops can do massive damage, but here the entire engagement, actually all the tanks get slaughtered, and so many Banelings just killing themselves on a single Thor. But here the sacrificial tank remaining. A drop though on this side, dealing maximum damage. Well, the drop here is cleaned out, but look at this. This is doing a lot of economic damage, and oh, losing so many Banelings to the siege tank, and continuing pressure from Duggi here. Duggi now way up in food as well, just continuing to rally in units and killing bases. Daax killed off a lot of army here from Duggi, but I mean, Duggi is just keeps rallying in, has a great position here, and oh, actually the last possible second the hatch falls as well. So Daax now having 2 mining bases less than before this push started, so quite a good deal here for Duggi. Well, those 3 Marines, they won't kill the hatch, but they can try to pick up the Queen. In the meantime, drops everywhere, and the main. Look at that spread, guys. Alright, so these Ultralisks of course do tank a lot of damage, and that means that the tank's not quite as effective against those banelings. And now it's time for Daax to try and see if he can push back the Terran here, because he needs to do just that. Another base taken, actually not dealing with the drops anymore, and the Ultralisk Cavern here going to be under some fire. And here we have it. Can Duggi defend against this? So many Ultras here, 3-2 upgrades, but they need to get split really well here. The tanks go down, no more siege tanks. There's just one here on the high ground. It needs to siege up and shoot some banelings. But there we go, actually more Ultras now streaming in across the bases. And well, I guess we're seeing Duggi is going to lose a lot of his production facilities here. The drop here is still doing massive amounts of damage to Daax's main, but in the meantime, look at those Ultras just going. Where are they going? Oh, they want to look at that. So much production for Duggi, though. I mean, the question is, can Duggi take that out in time? Banelings are now going to roll in here, and they do clean it up, but I mean, there's no base left anymore for Daax. What's the income look like? Well, heavily in favor of the Terran, although the harvester count for Duggi not so great. But this Ultra army is going to get cleaned up after all, and this is actually turning into a bit of a crazy game here. Alright, the last Ultras fall, but look at how many barracks were killed here. But Duggi is just transitioning. He's now going to focus a lot more on mech and already pushing out. Well, these are mainly medevacs actually. They're all empty now. And Daax going to try again, going to try to take this base. It is a planetary fortress though, doesn't have any upgrades, but oh, look at that, the response timing from Duggi is absolutely brilliant. And the small army here from Daax trying to do damage wherever they can, but actually rolling in. Will they? Well, they get a good surround on the tanks, and actually that's quite an important pickoff here for Daax, keeping the tank count low. Actually Duggi prematurely unloading a tank there, just too bad. But well, that was a decent trade for Daax, trading just Zerglings for a couple of siege tanks. Those will be crucial, because if Duggi can hold on to those siege tanks, he will be in pretty good shape. The Viking here just looking for overlords. These players, well, they're going for it, man. Look at that. Let's look at the APM tabs, man. I mean, yeah, Duggi 230. I guess in Heart of the Swarm he will have APM of 2 million, because I don't know, the counting is really weird in the Heart of the Swarm. Like, well, I don't know. I hope you guys played that, because it's true, and then you can know it. But all right, what is Daax going to do now? Long distance mining his gas. You know what's a good thing about long distance mining? You can put a lot more guys in gas. Just kidding, guys. But all right, another drop here from Duggi. But well, the entire Ling army is already there, which means, of course, that this drop will do more damage. But there's also a Ling army here, so Daax now correctly identifying what his opponent is up to. Sneaky Terrans going for sneaky drops, but actually, of course, making great use of that, of those high and low grounds, and well, picking up again, going for the high ground again. Oh, this is just so classic. I remember seeing Select do this once, and I was amazed. I was completely blown off. But well, since then, because that was early StarCraft 2, players have gotten so much better, and look at the continuous action here. That's really great, and actually both players are now equal in supply. 139 lings for Daax here, but I mean, oh dear, 10 siege tanks with 2 upgrades, Thors with 2/2, and some bio in it as well. This is going to be absolutely an enormous push. And all that Daax can really do is maybe try to do some counter-attack damage, but with these drops, Duggi is just keeping him in his base. He knows exactly where the army is. And now there's 2 infestors here. And oh, actually there's a lot more infestors here. And wow. That was some great fungals. And actually the entire army gets... How did that... Wait a second, guys. Wait a second. I thought for sure that that attack was going to do amazing amounts of damage. But I mean, just... not even in the creep, Daax decides to engage with all his Zerglings and his infestors, and he just streams in, gets the most beautiful fungal growth and the concave, just a complete surround. Man, I'm even messing up my words because of this. Not that that's that hard to do, granted. All right, but wow, yeah, I'm still kind of amazed at this defense here. I guess fungal's pretty good, huh? So Daax will say, "Oh well, I guess I'll drop again when the frontal assault doesn't work. Go try to do some dropping harassment, man." And he just goes right back to it. But this time though, well, these Marines are dead as hell, and with all the infestors now on the map, can I actually nav those medevacs? That would be huge, but it looks like no. Medevacs are getting away. They don't have the emergency speed boosters or whatever those things in HOTS are called. Those are amazing, man. But all right. Well, I guess Duggi will have to try again sometime. Muna falling. Actually, medevac, sorry. Now finally gets those fungals off. Although, actually need an additional fungal here on that single stubborn medevac. But I mean, Duggi in the income tab, I mean, he is doing pretty well. And of course, Daax took these bases so much earlier that they're also going to be mined out a lot sooner. Although, if the Terran spends a lot of mules, that can even out quite quickly. But alright, now it's actually Daax's turn here to go for a counter push. But of course, well, will these tanks be sieged up? I hope so for Duggi, because those initial volleys will do massive amounts of damage. And look at that scan. Seeing just the fringe of that army and throwing down the scan to see it in its full glory, now sieging up his tanks. Well, he needs to. Is he in time? Actually, some great shots go off. Fungal as well on the front. Everything here moving up. It is such a narrow choke here. All the links stream in though, and the tank after tank is falling, and we see the line getting pushed back. The ultras are still alive, and still some banelings in the mix as well. There's one single infestor left, but cannot get a fungal off. And well, alright. Well played, says Daax. Look at that, guys. What a game that was. What a game. These players taking it into the long game, defeating push after push from each other. And well, then the final attempt here from Daax, not successful, and it dies with so many siege tanks. So much stuff from Duggi. But well played from both these players. Very, very awesome game. And well, it's now 2-1 in favor of Duggi, and I can't wait for the rest of this best of 5.